has sent me Natalie's Freight in N scale. Now, I have never made an N scale structure before. Hopefully my eyes are going to be up to it, but I'm going to admit. So again, thanks ever so much, Frank, for sending me this all the way over from America. It's landed safely here in Cornwall and I'm ready to get going on the kit. So let's take a look at the kit itself. In the box contains strip wood, doors, windows, the window glass, the barn doors, and the walls and the roof. So what do we have here? Oh, teeny tiny castings. I'm used to building in 00 and HO, so I think painting up these little barrels are going to be a little difficult for me, but let's see how we get on. In here we've got the strip wood, all the strip wood that we need of different thicknesses, and some teeny tiny bits of what would become corrugated iron, just perfect for rusting up. In here we have the laser cut kit itself, some shingles pre-cut for the roof. It's good, it saves me doing it. Some laser cut windows and doors. So the windows and the doors have a self-adhesive backing. Perfect. And here we have the clapboard siding, again a lot thinner than I'm used to painting, and some roof card. And finally there's the acetate. And as we would expect, some excellent instructions, and there's photographs of each stage. I've had a read of the instructions, so I think I know what I need to do. And just to help, I've laid out the wood in the different thicknesses so it's easy for me to find as I go through the build. The first thing to do is to start bracing the walls. And the kit includes plenty of wood ready for the bracing. I've got my block, I've got my perhaps rather too large saw, and a pencil. So I'm just going to mark it out and start bracing these walls. So I've cut all the bits I need to do the bracing. I'm just going to glue them down. And I found that my mighty saw wasn't really needed. Because this is N scale, the strip wood is a bit thinner, so I've been able to use my knife. So all I'm going to do is just put a thin layer. I don't want so much glue that it squirts out everywhere. I just spread it with my finger so it's even, and then I'm just going to glue that right on the end of this part of the structure. Make sure that it's flush. Okay, so that's one of the walls, braced at each end and a couple in the middle just to give it some stability. So here you can see that I've braced all of the wall sections. On the front and back wall sections, the end bracing I've put right to the edge, it's flush with the edge of the wall. But on the side sections, I hope you can see that I've left a gap either side. Here and here. And that gap is exactly the same width as this piece of strip wood. And that's because when we join these together, they're going to slot together like this. And then in the gap in the corner goes the trim. Now the way I do this is I apply the trim to the two sides where the bracing is flush. When I come to attach the side sections, it slots in just like that, and you have a lovely clean finish. Now the two colours I've chosen are just basic hobby store craft paints. This is called Dark Taupe, and this one is Powder Grey. Now what I have here is a piece of old sponge, and I apply just a little bit of the paint onto the sponge and dab most of it off, because I want my version of Natalie's Freight to look a bit run down. And what I'm going to do is just lightly sponge the colour onto the windows. So if I show you up close, you can see that for this first layer, you can still see quite a lot of the laser board through it. I'm going to leave those to dry, and then I'm going to come back and do another coat that just might add into it a touch of old rust. Now what I'm going to do is apply a wash. Now I use ammo washes. They are enamel, so they do take a little bit longer to dry, but they're very high in pigment and give a good effect. And I'm just simply going to brush it over the windows. Now the first thing I'm going to do is use an enamel wash over the clapboards. That's better. Yeah, that's more the look I want. And if it is too dark, you can just use the thinner direct. Yeah, that's the look I'm after. Next I use a brush to thinly apply the acrylic paint. And I'm not painting this solidly. I want to be able to see that brown stain coming through, and that's going to give this building a kind of dilapidated look. The next stage I used the same colour but a tiny bit of sponge and lightly dab that on all over the structure. This gives that peeled paint look. The windows are so simple to fit, it's because they're self-adhesive. The first time that I've used this type of method, but it works really well. Making the sign was equally really easy. It's self-adhesive, I stuck it on, and then I used an airbrush to apply the colour. And now to glue all the pieces together. kit comes with this paper to make a tar paper roof. First thing that I do is use weathering powders, and then I use sandpaper to roughen up the edges. And a piece of strip wood just adds a nice edge. I wanted to make the corrugated roof look really rusty, and these are my 4 go-to colours. It's basically raw umber, burnt umber, raw sienna and burnt sienna, and I apply each of these colours really lightly using a sponge, and as you can see it gives a really good rusty effect. Using a strip wood in the kit, it's really easy to make up the deck. It comes with all of these great castings, so a quick black primer and some sponged on paint again gives a nice effect. And back to the roof, what I'm using here is an enamel light rust wash, and again it just gives the roof that really rusty, dilapidated look. And so here's the final model, Natalie's Freight. An absolutely fantastic N-gauge kit, lots of great fun to make and not too difficult, so why not pop over to Mud Creek Models, buy one and give it a go. I hope you enjoyed this quick video. I've really enjoyed making it as well as the kit. I've got about 1,000 subscribers now, but make sure you do press that subscribe button. That way you'll never miss one of my new videos.